the new redshirt rule in college football. Uh, I think it's crazy, and the reason I think it's crazy is because I think it's crazy that Mark Emmert and the NCAA finally got something right. Um, Effective immediately, a guy can play in up to 4 games and not burn his red shirt, which is good for players and fans and coaches and programs and literally everybody associated with the game, which is plenty of reason to expect Emmert and the NCAA to not get it right. And yet, lo and behold, incredibly, miraculously, they got it right. Um, so, anyway, I think it's going to be fascinating to watch how coaches around the country with different personalities and different systems
abuse this
and
rule.
yeah, I mean, I think the sky's the limit in the way that the rule can be utilized, and I would love to hear your thoughts.
I'm with you on the grand scheme of things. It's great. Like I love it, and I've said that before. With the example being Shea Patterson, right, who transferred to Michigan, who would have had another year if he didn't have to come in for a Chad Kelly who blew out his knee. So I mean, also Last Chance U alumni before there was Last Chance U. There's the Last Chance U segue.
Yeah.
But I think your story about Jalen Hurts works in this case. But
Yeah,
I think what we're also going to see is right. I think the thing that we're really going to see is not just a ton of freshmen, but a ton of everybody playing right away.
Mm-hmm.
And you're really not going to know who your kids are, who the guys you're going to hang your hat on until November at this rate.
Right.
That's the other thing that I think is real curious about this, because at every college football institution, not just Alabama, Oklahoma, whatever, you don't know who your guy is until you're in a big moment, and then that big moment solidifies that guy as your starting tailback, as your starting wide receiver, or what have you.
Yep.
But in the SEC, I'm really interested to see this, because I think it's going to turn these FCS beatings into glorified spring games where all you see is a bunch of freshmen. And I'm interested in how they're going to, Nick Saban's going to win a game 31-28 over Samford for whatever reason. And then he's going to try to sell Samford as, well, they're an FCS power who went 4-8. Like, that's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. It's like him holding up Fresno State last year after they got mollywopped by Auburn.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, we should be in the college football playoff. So that's, I think, in one way, you're creating more problems for yourself, because you get to tell freshmen what you wanted to tell them for years, which is you will play right away.
Right away.
Right? You'll play right away. You come on campus, you will play. But do you really want to play against Tennessee Chattanooga? Is that what you came to Alabama to do?
Man.
Tennessee Chattanooga and only Tennessee Chattanooga. Mercer. Hey, why are we starting Jalen Hurts or even Tua at this point? Let's play the 4th-string guy who's never going to see the field.
Yeah.
And fans, what do you think? This is what you came for? This is what you bought your season tickets for? So I'm really interested to see how this gets spinned, because I don't see, if I'm a head coach, why I wouldn't do that. Why would I play blue chip college football talent when I don't have to?
You mentioned Jalen and Tua not playing a 4th-string guy. Right after this happened, well, it wasn't right. Within a couple of days of this happening, I was sitting at home on like a Saturday, and I was just thinking about it, and I was thinking about all the different scenarios that could play out, and I was trying to think like big picture, like season-altering things that could happen because of this new rule. And one of them, I mean, honestly, I wrote about 1,400 words and then stopped after I talked myself out of my own idea as I was writing it. But I still wrote about Jalen, and that's one of the 3 big storylines I had in mind when I went into it. With Jalen, I actually think, and I made this the headline on the site, and I know it looked like clickbait, but I swear to God, I meant it. I think Jalen's better off not playing in 2018. I think that he wins by losing the starting job, and the reason I think that is because and most people expect Tua to win the job. I'm not a big Tua guy either, for the record. Like I'm neither pro or con Tua. I'm whatever. If Jalen wins that job, Alabama fans, being as sane and collected as they are, as a collective fan base, are going to be on Jalen every move he makes. I mean, every incomplete pass, every interception, every miscommunication, name it. Dude takes a sack, they're going to be like, well, Tua probably would have slipped that tackle. I mean, the whole season. If Tua's not in the game, he's going to be the most popular player on a team. Jalen doesn't need that. Jalen's won 28 games and taken his team to back-to-back national championships in 2 years as a starter at Alabama with 2 years of eligibility left. And now with this new redshirt rule, I think it would be extremely beneficial to him to lose the job to Tua. Playing up to 4 games, fine. I think it would be cool of Saban to use Jalen as insurance for Tua. If Tua suffers a big injury, yeah, throw Jalen in the game. Let's rock. But if we're talking about like mop-up duty against, as you mentioned, an FCS opponent, or I haven't even looked at their schedule, but Ole Miss, for example, don't mess with Jalen for that. Leave him out. Jalen plays 4 games or fewer, and then his dad is going to be right on the money when he said that Jalen will be the biggest free agent in the history of college football. If Jalen plays 4 games or less in 2018, he will be the biggest free agent in college football, and there's going to be a line of programs coming after him, one of which plays in Boca Raton and is coached by Nick's former offensive coordinator, Lane Kiffin, and I am really, really here for that. Thoughts?
I hear your point, but 2 things on that front. One is Jacob Coker. The other one is Blake Barnett. So if that's what you want to gamble on, go right ahead. Like, those guys weren't blue chip quarterbacks, and like Nick Saban's not recruiting blue chip quarterbacks to come in to replace you at any point, at any time. Also, yeah, Jalen won a lot of games. But if you're going to tell me that Jalen won a lot of games without the running backs that he has, without Calvin Ridley bailing him out of some pretty bad throws, and without Jeremy Pruitt as his defensive coordinator and Kirby Smart even before that, then I got nothing for you, because Alabama, the way that Nick Saban has built it, isn't the quarterback. We put a lot of emphasis on the quarterback at Alabama, and for what? That guy's not invited to the Heisman ceremony. He's not. We give it to the running back. We talk about these monsters, these freaks on the defense. My goodness, Yeah. Deron Payne. How are you going to – you keep replacing that guy. You keep replacing a Rolando McClain. You keep replacing a Minka Fitzpatrick year after year. D. Milner. Fine. Let him go, right? Let him end up doing Shea Patterson.
RJ.
Let him go to Syracuse. Let him go to wherever it is he thinks he's going to be good.
Syracuse.
But – well, tell me. Well, hey.
I don't know.
Tell me.
That's so random.
No, seriously. Tell me where he's going to go.
Let him go to San Jose
and
State.
Be good. Like, if he goes to FAU, right? Let's say they win 12 games.
Yeah.
Okay. Win 12 games in what conference? On what TV network?
Who cares? If they win,
I do if I'm Jalen Hurts, because I want to play in the league.
He's
and
going to
I don't
have
want people yelling about how I'm not a first round pick. Because I didn't play nobody.
Hey, tell me this. How many Alabama quarterbacks, regardless of how well they played Alabama, have been high draft picks and or made it in the league?
Hey, man, that's a question that you needed to ask before you decide to sign your letter of intent at Alabama.
Look, my point is, I want to make this clear. My point is not that Jalen is going to leave Alabama, go to Florida Atlantic, go to Houston, whatever, and set the world on fire. Look, I think Jalen's a nice player. I don't think he's a great player. My point is, for Jalen, I think the best case scenario is not playing this year in more than 4 games and then transfer.
And my point is, the best case scenario is for him to win the job. And this time, don't get sat in the second half of the biggest game of the season.
He's never going to hold off Tua, bro. Like, it's never going to happen. If he wins the job, he's going to have this kid breathing down his neck at all times.
Welcome to being a college football quarterback or college football anything at any big-time university.
Yeah, and I know the backup quarterback is always the most popular player on a team, and I understand that, man. But I think it's different with Tua. Tua's got that Baker Mayfield rock star status thing going on with Alabama fans because he played for 5 minutes and did good things. Like, I just think Tua's a different animal.
He might well be. But if you're Jalen Hurts, you've done 2 years here. You've won a title.
Mm-hmm.
You basically won him a title last year. Why are you the king? You are king. And if people want to talk around the program about what should be done, I've been talking about what should be done in Oklahoma for years. Guess who makes the decision? The head coach. And if Nick Saban says it's your job, or that you can win this job, you got no choice but to take him at his word, or like you were saying, maybe you make yourself a college football free agent and you go down there to to play for Kendall Briles, which presents its own sorts of problems.
And Charlie Weiss Jr., you're a 25-year-old offensive coordinator.
That's the other thing, right? If you're going to go, you're going like you're going to be the guy wherever you go, right? Ask John Franklin III about that. He went JUCO because he wasn't the guy at Florida State, and then went to Auburn, wasn't the guy at Auburn.
No.
Right?
Hey, also, if we're going to be serious discussion about the FAU quarterback situation, that room is loaded. I mean, of all the group of 5 programs, FAU probably makes the least sense in terms of the level of competition in the quarterback room.
Right. I mean, I don't want Riff Raff as my quarterback, but he can play. I'm not going to say he can't. He can play. Yeah. His problems aren't on the field. We know that, but that's FAU also. That's the stigma that they're developing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't see him leaving Alabama as the big boon for him that you think it is, and that his dad thinks it is.
Okay.
And if he's going to go to Texas, now we have something to talk about.
Well, how come? Right? How come it wouldn't be if he goes to Texas? I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish your point. Why is Texas something to talk about, but like Houston would not be?
Because Texas has the same level of prestige and the same platform as in Alabama. Nobody's going to see you play quarterback at Texas and say that you aren't that good. Nobody's going to say that you didn't play against competition
unless you're
good.
Not that good, and unless the competition is that good. That's why I like Houston for him, because I don't believe in him that much.
Well, and see, that's that. I'm Jalen Hurts' advocate here, saying stay at Alabama.
Okay. All right.
You're Jalen Hurts' advocate saying I don't really believe in him, so go to Houston.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just looking out for his mental well-being. All right.